I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to call up Reverend David Shorts from Second Place Church to do our invocation. Thank you, David.
I'd like us to a moment of silence for the tragic loss of band director at Crete Monee, Chris Tedeschi. And if we could just do that. Thank you. Lord, you have spoken in your word that you are our help and a refuge in time of need, and that you alone sustain us. And so I just pray for the Tedeschi family, that you would sustain them and those that loved him so dearly, and that you would provide them strength. And we pray, God, for even this meeting and this time together, that you would bless our leaders, that you would provide them with wisdom and strength, that you would be their sustenance and their help, their wisdom. And Father, we just dedicate this entire evening into your hands. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue? Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Holston?
Present.
Trustee Horn?
Here.
Trustee Razik?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Here.
Okay, I would go to open to the public. Agenda items only, if anyone has something they'd like to mention. If not, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
No.
Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the clerk's report. Denisha?
No report tonight.
No report? Okay, we'll move on to my report. I do have a gentleman here tonight, Andrew Belfast. Andrew is a regional veterans community liaison. I invited him, I met him at a meeting, and I thought he might have a few words to speak to everyone tonight. Andrew?
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you very much. So again, my name is Andy Balafias. I'm the Regional Veterans Liaison for a company called Vitas Healthcare. I've been in this role since about 2010. I met Mayor Pop at the Love Monee lunch here a few weeks ago. I was invited by a coworker who lives in the area, Andy Franklin. She's with the Second Church. And she thought that I might be able to contribute to that day. And I will talk a little bit about that in a bit. I do a lot of public speaking. You may not believe that when I'm done here. I don't know. Most of the time it's in front of nurses and social workers, teaching them about the unique needs that veterans have. I also do a lot of honoring ceremonies in facilities, and I will do many in this area. Some upcoming in this month. This is Military Appreciation Month, so I'm a very busy man during this month doing those kinds of things. It's really the first time I've ever been asked to talk in front of a village hall, so thank you, in a village meeting. I promise I will keep it short. Okay. And when I was thinking about how I best wanted to use these few minutes, I thought, do I want to teach? Do I want to educate on veteran care? And I thought, well, you probably don't want to be here for the next 45 minutes. But ladies, if there is a reason for me to come back and talk to the community about veterans benefits or caring for veterans, I can always come back and do that. Do I want to promote my company's services? Well, generally I don't, that's not my style. I would rather have my company show what it can do rather than talk about it. But I do think it's important to explain what I do for a living. I know I'm on closed circuit TV, is that correct? Hopefully one of the folks here or somebody that watches this via TV will say, you know, maybe that guy can help so-and-so. Maybe he can help my mom, my dad, my brother, my friend down the street. You see, my company expects me to help veterans in general with my specialties. But I do have a different specialty that I work from the heart every day. You see, I work for a hospice company. I deal with end-of-life care mostly for veterans. Vitas is a hospice company. And you might ask, why does a hospice company need a full-time veteran working for veterans care? And I will tell you, in this area here, there are probably 10 to 12 hospices that work this area. And in the state of Illinois, there are probably a little less than 200 hospice programs. But I only know of 4 programs in the state of Illinois that employ full-time veterans to help their veterans. One is in Fairview Heights, Illinois, which is near St. Louis. That lady was a surface warfare officer in the Navy, and she's now a nurse, and she has the same role I have, and she works for Vitas, same company. The other 3 programs are Chicago Northwest Suburbs, Chicago, and the Chicago suburbs, Tinley Park, which is this area. I have those 3 programs. The only 4 programs that I know of. So to understand why it's so important, as of 2016, by VA statistics, 25% of all deaths in the country were veterans. That's a large chunk. That's a large chunk. And when we talk, what we're taught, and I'm taught this by the VA folks too, I work a lot with the VA, there are 4 unique needs that veterans have at end of life. The first one is the obvious one, and those are the psychological issues. The physical issues. So if you're a Korean War vet, you may have one of the signature conditions, which is frostbite. And frostbite gets worse as you get older. If you are a Vietnam era veteran, if you served in Vietnam, you were exposed to something called Agent Orange. And there are 14 presumptive conditions. A lot of them are cancers. It includes heart disease. It includes diabetes. So those are some of the physical conditions. The second thing that I talk about is psychological issues. We've all heard about post-traumatic stress. And then there are a couple other psychological trauma issues that come into play. One is called moral injury, and there's a new one that's emerging called soul injury. So I'm educated on those. And then there's this thing called stoicism. Do I have any other veterans in here? Any other veterans? Any other veterans? Any Marines? Any Marines? So somebody knows a Marine. Does that gentleman admit when he's hurting? Are you two together?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody know a Marine here? They don't really come forward and tell you when they're hurting. And you know, when you're on a battlefield, when you're in the military, it's kind of important. You need to drive on. You need to ignore if you're hurting, or you have to ignore your emotions. But at end of life, you know, the only thing we get judged in is whether or not somebody has a peaceful death. And we have to address that stoicism. And the last thing that I spend a heck of a lot of time doing is helping people navigate the VA bureaucracy. Again, veterans in here, if you enrolled for VA medical care, try to get claims, it's really not that easy. And so I help people with those 4 things as best as I can. And when I do advise, to the best of my ability, I will give them an explanation, I will give them a name, and I will give them a phone number, who to contact, in about a 12-county area. So I work in the northeast counties of Illinois. So I am a liaison directly with the VA hospitals, with much of the staff, primarily their hospice staffs, and all of the service officers in the area. And so this is my role. I have already coordinated, Mayor, with Hines VA to have an outreach team here for Love Monee to enroll veterans in the VA system. My intention is to try and get a service officer here, or a team of service officers to help advise veterans on claims, disability claims. I don't know what else I can do. One of the things Andy asked me to do was think about what else I can do, but I hope to have those things available on that day. Again, my name is Andy Balafast. For anybody that's listening, the last name is spelled B as in boy, A-L-A-F as in Frank, A-S as in Sam. Military phonetically, Bravo, Alpha Lima, Alpha Foxtrot, Alpha Sierra. I work for Vitas Healthcare, that's V-I-T-A-S, or Victor India Tango, Alpha Sierra. My phone number is 630-815-9563. I will leave cards for anybody that wants to reach out to me and look for my assistance. Again, my boss tells me at least once or twice every month, my job is to help all veterans, not just those on hospice. That's all I have. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Thank you, Mayor, for giving me time.
Thank you so much. And we're glad to see that you'll be at Love Monee. Okay, we'll move on to the administrator's report. Mr. Wallace?
Thank you, Mayor and Board of Trustees. This evening on the agenda is item H1, and that is a plat of minor subdivision. And at the March 28th Village Board meeting of this year, the board approved a minor plat of subdivision plat submitted by Orchard 2251 LLC. And due to the plat not showing a lot number 2, the Will County Recorder would not record that plat. Therefore, Orchard 2251 LLC has resubmitted this plat as a new minor subdivision plat naming lot number 2. The plat is substantially remains the same as it did when it was originally approved, but for the addition of lot number 2. And what we are seeking is a motion to authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the plat of subdivision, minor subdivision, inclusive of lot number 2.
Could I have a motion, please, on that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
So I see here, it's off Monee Manhattan Road. Is there a cross street adjacent to this?
Further south of that would be, it's actually borders on Ridgeland Avenue on the west. Okay, and then on the far south would be Monee Manhattan, and that may not show on the plat.
Yeah, I do see that now. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Thank you. Also under my report, it is not on the agenda, is as part of the capital plans approved for fiscal year 2018 budget, was the replacement of Lynn Lane water main and a storm sewer rehabilitation on that same street. And basically, at this point, staff is requesting permission to go out to bid for this project. I would like to comment that additionally, instead of replacing the asphalt once the water main is in place and everything, the village is Superintendent Crizel, along with the engineers, are seeking to put the asphalt replacement along with the asphalt replacement for the previously approved Main Street Stormwater project, and couple that with the Fall Road project in order to seek and obtain better quantity pricing on the overall replacement of these. So not to confuse the issue, We're simply asking permission to go to bid on the water main replacement for Lynn Lane, and that would include some minor storm sewer rehabilitation as well.
This is not on the agenda. We can't pass a motion on that tonight.
Trustee Holstein, I believe it's not a final action being taken. I think if it was opening and awarding bids, correct. But since it's just going out for proposals, I think we're fine.
I'll make that motion then.
Second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn? Yes. Trustee Racick?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And last on the administrator's report is, as you may recall, as part of Dr. Sheets' redevelopment plan, he is to have a retail establishment in the east half of his building. In an effort to comply with the agreement, Dr. Sheets has applied for a Class A1 liquor license for the purpose of operating a coffee shop in the morning hours and a wine bar in the afternoon and evening hours. Ordinance currently allows for 4 of the Class A1 liquor license, and all 4 are currently active. Therefore, the board would need to vote to increase the number of Class A1 licenses from 4 to 5. And basically, at this point, because it is not on the agenda, we were hoping that Dr. Sheets could at least receive a consensus from the board on this matter. The reason he is looking for that is some of the equipment that is anticipated being ordered has some significant lead time, and he would like to get that equipment ordered, providing the board can provide a consensus at this point.
At this point, I need a motion on this.
We can ask for permission to draft ordinance?
Yes, sorry.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'd be in favor of a wine bar in the morning, and
Well, we did pass that ordinance last meeting.
We can discuss that after we get a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion.
And actually, I do have a question about that. And maybe there's a legal answer for that, but there also maybe, Dr. Sheets, you might have an answer. So are there going to be set hours from 7 to 3 is coffee, and then after 3 is wine, or have you thought through that at all?
Well, obviously, this time everything's kind of evolving, but originally it was going to be from, the coffee shop was going to be from like 5 to 11, 5 to 12, and then close for a few hours in the afternoon, and then reopen around 3 or 4 to 10 or 11. Now, a buddy of mine who I believe I'm going to hire out of the city, he's a general manager of a wine bar there. In discussions with him, he really kind of thinks it's foolish for us to just close for a couple hours in the afternoon. So we're probably just going to open all day long. Obviously, my intention is not to be serving alcohol in the mornings. It's more just the wine bar in the evening, coffee in the morning is kind of what it is. You're out of luck, Trustee Holstein.
There goes my vote.
I from what I understand, the liquor license allows it, but, that's, my intention is just in the evenings is what it is.
Do you have a particular type of coffee bar you're looking at, a name brand, or you just?
Again, that a lot is with my buddy. I tried to get him there this evening. He just couldn't make it because he's still.
But definitely
employed at the
upscale?
other one. Yes, definitely a lot more upscale is what
Yeah.
we're looking to do. Both the wine and the coffee, obviously. My idea with this is really, I'd love to be able to say I can take this place, and if I wanted to pick it up and put it in the city of Chicago, obviously without city of Chicago prices here in Monee. That's my thought with it.
And my question, I think, is for Larry. What are the hours? Please refresh my memory for serving alcohol.
Yeah.
I believe it would be a Class A1, and off the top of my head, I'm not too sure. I don't have the code, but go ahead, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah,
I
thank
seem
you.
to remember it's 11 o'clock. Does that sound right?
No, I believe it's actually 7 a.m. until 1 a.m.
Good grief. Wow, okay.
Yeah. So the actual sale of liquor is governed by the liquor license itself, not the store hours, whatever they choose to do store hour-wise. It is governed by the liquor license. And I would like to point out, it is called a wine bar. However, the A1, Class A1 liquor license has beer, wine, and spirits as well. So it is a full liquor license. I believe Dr. Sheets was planning some higher-end liquors and things of that nature.
Yes, again, a little more upscale look at is what I'm going for on it. The reason I didn't apply just for the wine was just because I don't want to exclude someone. Someone walks in, with their wife and the husband doesn't drink wine, and all of a sudden they say, okay, we're leaving. So this way there's something for everyone. Again, most of the alcohol, a little bit on the upper scale level is what I'm looking to go for.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Sheets. Roll call, please.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray? Yes. Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
So, Dr. Sheets, if I come a little early, you can get me a little sauced, and then you can work some joints that don't want to do things.
You're on TV, Mr.
Mayor.
Mayor.
You can
We're not on
cancel
TV
that one
anymore.
out of the meeting. Sometimes I can't help myself.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. That concludes my report.
Okay, we'll move on to the officials' report. Trustee Gray, Public Works.
A few things this evening. The spring cleanup for the village is already going on. The next branch pickup will be next Wednesday, the 16th, and the 17th, which is Thursday. If you can, please have your stuff out the night before so our gentlemen can get through the village and clean everything up. Also, too, I didn't mention last week, and it has already started. We have a grant through, I'm sorry, I'm kind of reading my notes here. Basically, we have a grant for about $4,800 for mosquito cleanup basins. And as of today, the Public Works has put out 660 basins throughout the ponds and the sewer systems. Over 1,000 storm bases have been put in, but they put out 660. I know it doesn't sound right, but they have done that. And there will be more to come. Again, as far as the village is concerned, if you could please, with the rain that has been coming, if you do see some of your storm traps, your gutters around the houses with the leaves and the wind blowing, if you can clean those out to hopefully deter the mosquitoes. But we did get a grant of $4,800 through the government to help us with that program. End of report.
Thank you very much. We'll move to Parks and Recs. Scott?
Okay, first thing that I have is a reminder that this Friday and Saturday from 9 to 5 is the community-wide garage sale. There's been a map put together in a detailed list of addresses that's been posted on Facebook for anybody that wants to look that up. I just also want to remind people too, with the garage sale, it's a great opportunity to say hi to your neighbors and meet new neighbors. So hopefully a lot of people will come out for that. Got a lot of new summer programs that are being offered, and registration for a lot of them is already open, and hopefully people will come out. We also would like to know what kind of programs teens are interested in the village, and if anyone has any ideas, give a call to Diana over at the Park District, and we'll see what we can do to make that happen for you. The next big event that we've got coming up is the Family Swing Dance Night. That's on June 23rd at Fireman's Park. And the last thing I have is if anyone is interested in renting out Fireman's Park, the building, please give a call over to the Park and Rec Department. End of report.
Thank you, Scott. Move on to Finance. Trustee Holston?
Yes, sir. The Finance Committee met a couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, and subject to our executive meeting tonight, a couple of last-minute issues. We'll be prepared to present the budget on May 23rd. We have scheduled a public meeting at May 23rd at 6 p.m. 6:15?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just for trustee Gray, apparently. 6:15, it will be the public meeting, and we should be able to approve the budget at that time on May 23rd in the regular meeting. We will have a finance committee meeting, next the Monday before that at 4 p.m. I believe that'll be the 20th, 21st. Thank you. Get my days straight here. We will probably present during the meeting some numbers from last year to give you some overall perspectives on where we stand, but just some quick information. The Village of Monee real estate taxes for last year, the overall aggregate was 13.6996. Of that, 2.18 or 16% roughly, a little less than 16% was the Village of Monee. The rest was other items, the biggest of which was the school district, which was 8.7142. The school district levy actually went up again last year. It's 64% of the overall taxes for real estate is the school district. The Monee, Village of Monee tax percentage actually went down, or rate went down last year from 2.3521 the previous year to 2.1871. So those are just numbers, but again, I think we've done a good job of managing the budget and trying to do everything we can to keep taxes as low as possible and still have a balanced budget. Do have the preliminary numbers, however, the audit's still in process. So where are we at on the audit, Darrell?
We had a meeting scheduled last week, but something came up with one of the auditors. We're looking to schedule our first meeting soon.
Okay, so we will be going through our annual audit, but we don't expect any issues. And again, last year looks like it was actually a very close year in terms of income to budget, probably one of our better years in the last few years. So that's all of my report.
Trustee Holston, what time is that meeting scheduled for on the?
The Finance Committee meeting, 4
Yes.
p.m. 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah, Trustee Blue is planning on having an economic development meeting at 6 o'clock that evening, so I yielded to her so we can work around.
Do you anticipate it taking more than an hour?
No. Would 5 be better for you?
5 would be better.
Okay, then we'll have it at 5 o'clock.
At the end of your report, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Economic development, I don't know, Kevin, anything you'd like to say with the absence of trustee Blue that we could talk about?
I can share one thing.
Good. This is our representative for economic development, Kevin Daly.
There's a new wine bar coming to town, right?
That's already been reported. I just wanted to share with the board and the public that I was asked, I'm the economic development team you hear about sometimes. I was invited down to Springfield by the Illinois Enterprise Zone Association to make a presentation to the organization on the Amazon project. The Illinois Enterprise Zone Association is an organization of enterprise zones and their administrators, along with other economic development professionals who specialize with enterprise zones. And while the enterprise zone and its benefits were a portion of what made Amazon come to fruition, it wasn't the full package. But all of the peers, the entire organization were my peers, and all were very excited to hear a story about how something like that came together. And it also was good for the village to have a little exposure, both on a statewide platform, as well as I was able to make some connections with some folks in other parts of the state. And we find out that everyone who works in economic development has the same sort of, same types of challenges everywhere. So that's about it.
Thank you.
End of report.
Thank you.
We'll move on to building services, trustee Wong.
I do not have a report tonight.
Thank you. We'll move to public safety, trustee Racick.
I got a few things, Mr. Mayor. The Monee Police Department has recently reinstated a ride-along program. Several police explorers, have taken advantage of the program, as well as a couple of the Laraway dispatchers. Monee Police Department would like to extend an invitation to members of the village board to take advantage of the program at their leisure. The ride-along request document is available at the police department. Secondly, Monee Police Department is reducing its monthly commitment to Amazon by about 70% beginning this month, with one officer off of surgery, upcoming vacations, and training would have put a significant stress on scheduling. And lastly, Cop on Top for the Special Olympics is May 18th at Dunkin' Donuts from 6 a.m. to about 1 p.m. End of report.
Sorry, Anthony.
I feel the love, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you very much for your report. We'll move on to the attorney's report. Mr.
Thank you.
Guzewski?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have 8 items for the board's consideration. The first item is an ordinance repealing ordinance number 1352 and adopting the International Property Maintenance Code. These ordinances have been reviewed, I believe, by staff and found to be the same to be acceptable. But the first one would be to repeal 1352 and then adopt the International Property Maintenance Code.
I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
A second.
Discussion. With no discussion, we'll go to roll call.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Holston,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Ordinance number
1842, ordinance number.
1842.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item would be an ordinance adopting the International Mechanical Code, Series 2015.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Thank you, Anthony. Any discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Holston,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Razik,
Yes.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
1843.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance establishing a permit and fee schedule as proposed by the building department. It's up for the board's review.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Just a general comment. Mike Johnson has worked very hard on these. We appreciate the extra work that he's done. He's also updated some of the charges on some of these. In some cases, residents are going to get a better break on some of the charges, but they're in line with what looks to be best for the village. So appreciate the extra work that he's done on these.
We didn't do roll call, did we?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? I did want to make a comment prior to the vote also. I just wanted to say that I'm very, very pleased with our building department. They've brought us up to 2015 on our codes. To some of the businesses, I might say, we're not picking on you. We're growing up. We're trying to do things the right way. So don't be offended by an inspector coming in and say, you have to do a certain thing in your business or whatever it may be, your home. It's because it doesn't meet the code. And we need to bring our village up to specs, and that's what we're doing. It's the right thing to do. So, and I applaud the building department for what they've done. So, with no other discussion, roll call, please.
Trustee Holston,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Razik,
Yes.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
1844.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance adopting their International Fuel Gas Code, 2015 edition.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Holston,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Razik,
Yes.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
1845.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance adopting International Existing Building Code, 2015 edition.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Holston.
Yes.
1846.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance adopting the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Holston.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
1847.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next item is an ordinance adopting the International Building Code, the 2015 edition.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
And a second? Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Holston.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
1848.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the last one is an ordinance adopting the International Residential Code, 2015 edition.
Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gray. Trustee Holston.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
1848. I'm sorry, 1849.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
I also wanted to mention to the public that our building commissioner did work with an outside company. Michael looks like he'd like to say something. This is our building commissioner. There was a lot of work put in this, as you can see. Every ordinance we just did has to do with codes. Michael?
Two things. One, we forgot the ordinance for the 2014 National Electric Code.
We didn't forget, I just didn't get it done.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. And one other thing that I would like to mention to all the trustees is there are a couple of the codes, and the biggest one is the energy code and the plumbing code. They are two codes that we have no control over. We are at times mandated to update the energy code or the plumbing code, just so that everybody is aware of that. But thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for the thorough job you did. We'll move on to old business. Creamery lease. Mr. Wallace?
Thank you, Mayor. This is just on old business. We're still working through some of the details with council, and we'll keep this on old business until we can present a lease for adoption by the board.
Is that all you have, sir? Okay, we'll move on to new business. And before I call Heidi up here about the American Cancer Society, I wanted to say that I was approached months ago by Heidi and another young lady to try to support this. And as a mayor, I just felt I couldn't do it, because how much mail do you get on fundraisers? I'm sorry. This is very important, and that's why Heidi's up here talking about it, but I didn't think that it was our job to be fundraising. But Heidi has some statements to make about it, and we're glad you're here, Heidi, to say whatever you wish. Thank you. Come on up, Heidi.
Okay, and it seems like our meeting has a theme tonight. It's all about wine, apparently. So we have turned a corner in Monee. And second of all, I want to make a statement about what you just said. This has nothing to do with what you and I met with Dr. Kathy Goss about.
Well, that's how much I know, huh?
Okay, so let's be very clear. This is, a team fundraiser that my Relay for Life team is doing as a team fundraiser. What we approached you with is a national movement called Power in Purple. So one does not beget the other. So this is Heidi talking, not the American Cancer Society.
Very good.
All right.
But it says that on my thing, American Cancer.
Because it's an American Cancer Society Relay for Life event that
Very good.
I'm doing my own personal fundraising for.
Excellent.
So that's why I'm here. And this is something that I've been trying to put together basically for 3 years. And recently I've been in touch with a wine distributor that does charity fundraising, and each bottle sold under their distributorship is for a very specific charity. So I was happy that they would even help us with our little old fundraiser here. And the second is a vintner that I found locally, has a little local wine shop, is just brand new and literally bottles his own wine in the area. So it is a local vintner, and he's almost like a mixologist because it's some of the neatest tasting and varietal wines I've ever been a part of. So this is something that I was like, okay, now I can do this. I just need a place to do it. So it has been brought to my attention. I might have to limit the amount of tickets that I sell for this. So the idea is this $20 ticket, and the entire event will be ticketed. So there will be no open alcohol, and the two vintners will be behind tables, and it's a 21 and over event. So we have the limit the number of tickets, the limited number of tastings that each person gets, and then it's just all you can eat and entertainment that goes along with it.
And because we have an ordinance in the village that doesn't allow alcohol, we need to approve this. What do you need, Mr. Mayor?
I believe we need a motion approving the request by Ms. Gonzalez.
So moved.
And this will be 1 p.m., not 9 a.m., dear. Not in the morning. It's a 1 p.m. All right.
Any discussion? Any other discussion, I should say? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray? Yes. Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Racick?
Yes.
Trustee Utris?
Yes.
Well, it looks like you can't do it, are you?
Okay. I'm missing one, right? It wasn't unanimous.
Okay, thank you so much,
I
Heidi.
appreciate it very much. June 3rd, Sunday, June 3rd, 1 to 4 p.m. And watch the Monee Community Information page. There will be electronic tickets available, and I will email you the tickets ahead of time. Or if there's any left, we'll sell them at the gate. It'll be at the pavilion in Fireman's Park.
Okay, we'll move to open to the public, non-agenda items. Try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. We don't lock you into that, so. Anybody have anything they'd like to say, or?
Good evening. Noreen Bormet, Peatone Public Library District. Sorry, allergies. Okay. Noreen Bormet, Peatone Public Library District. Don't know if you're aware, but we lost one of our board trustees in December. Diane Stacy passed away. She lives in Monee Township. She was also an active member of the Historical Society in Monee. We're going to be celebrating her life on Saturday, May 12th, 1 to 3, at the Fetty's funeral home in Peatone. So if anyone would like to come, if been touched by Diane's life, please come. Thanks.
Thank you, Noreen.
Thank you very much. Any other open to the public? If not.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, David.
I have
Please do.
one announcement. I'll just do it right now. The Monee Historical Society is having a meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the public building next door, and they're actually doing the history of Monee. It's free to the public. Some kind of refreshments will be served, not alcohol, however. But it'll be very, very interesting, and a lot of information will be presented. So we hope anybody from the public who would like to attend can come tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Okay, well, at this point, we're going to move into executive session for collective bargaining, 51LCS 120/2, C2. Purchase of lease of real property, 51LCS 120/2C5, and compensation of specific employees, 51LCS 120/2C1. So thank you all for coming.
You need a
If you
motion?
wish to stay until after, that's fine. David? you wanna
I'll
say
make a motion, we go into executive
Second.
session.
Very good. Motion and a second. Before we vote, Larry, did something you wanted to
No,
say?
that's it, that's
You all right? Okay, any discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Trustee Gray? Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
We'll call the meeting back to order. Roll call, please.
Motion.
We need motion.
Yes.
Motion, I'm sorry. Motion,
Second.
please. Second? Did we get it? Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Here.
Trustee Udris?
Here.
Trustee Gray? Trustee Holston?
Present.
No, did we want something said?
Real quick before we adjourn, I had one quick question. I forgot to bring up under old business. Do we have an update on when or if we are going to hear anything about an EMA director?
Yes, sir. We have gone through the first round of interviews for the EMA director position, and we would expect to have a candidate selected by the next board meeting. The final round of interviews will be conducted with myself, Trustee Blue, the Fire Chief Carl Nealon, Superintendent of Public Works Crizell, and Police Chief Scott Kerner.
Thank you.
Any other business we have? If there's no other business, a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
We are adjourned.